Hello my dear students, my name is Gargi and today in this video lecture we are going to start our poem When I Set Out for Lyonnesse. Okay, so this poem is written by Thomas Hardy and in this poem when he goes to a parish and he is supervising, being a novice architect, he is supervising reconstruction or what we can say remodeling of a church. Okay, so when he comes back from there, people notice a weird glow on his face. Okay, and it's very strange for everyone to see that and for the poet too. So let's start the poem. Let's start the summary. The poem is written by Thomas Hardy and revolves around his visit to a parish. As the poet is a trainee architect, he goes to supervise the restoration of a church. Now he is there to supervise the restoration of a church, and little does he know that he is in for a life-changing experience. Okay, so when he was going there, तो उन्हें नहीं पता था that he is in for a life-changing experience. Okay, वो एक ऐसी चीज़ experience करने वाले हैं जो शायद उनकी life को completely change कर देगा. The poet leaves for the parish on a cold evening. It was around 100 miles away and the shrubbery was all covered with frost. Okay, so there must have been a heavy snowfall because all the trees and all the leaves on the branches, they all were covered with snow. It was a lonely path and the stars were his only companion. And the path, it was very lonely, there were not a lot of people and the sky was starry, that means it was night time. Moreover, they help in guiding him the way. Now as you know, stars, they help in guiding people when they don't have a sense of direction. Okay, so in order to oversee the whole process, the poet says that the parish for a little while, stays at the parish for a little while. The poet is not aware at all that he is going to have a life-changing experience at the parish. However, during that short period of time, he notices some changes happening. Okay, so to oversee that whole restoration process, he stays at the parish. Parish is a region which has its own church and own administration. So when he is there, he stays there for a few days and he slowly experiences a few changes. Okay, he is experiencing those changes while he is there staying to oversee the restoration of the church. These are inner changes which he is not expecting at all. The poet is not prepared for all this. He feels that he cannot guess even for the slightest minute that he will be experiencing all this. Now all those changes are very new to him. Okay, he did not expect that, and when those changes are happening, they are very, like new to him. He was not expecting those changes at all, so he is a bit worried, or we can say that he is a bit surprised by those changes. Moreover, he even says that not even a prophet or wizard could have predicted these changes. So these changes, to show how sudden those changes were, he compares it with something. He says that a prophet or a wizard, कोई prophet होता तो वो भी उन changes को predict नहीं कर पाता है, कोई wizard होता तो वो भी नहीं बता पाता कि ये changes होने वाले थे. When he returns from his work trip, he feels changed. There is a new glow in his eyes which everyone else can notice as well. So when he comes back, so everyone can clearly see those changes on his face. There is this glow on his face and he himself can feel those changes. Not only he, but all the people around him, they can also feel that there is a change and there is a glow on the poet's face, and they also notice that he has a crumpled piece of paper in his pocket sticking out a bit, and they can notice that. This is the surprising part, because while the poet can feel the changes within, everyone can see them too. They feel like he has a radiating positivity about him now. Thus, the poet gives credit to his visit to the parish for bringing the magical glow in his eyes. All in all, we see how the poet goes through a major change in his life when he was least expecting it. Thus, it is true that miracles do happen. Moreover, no one can predict their happening. Okay, so by this we understand that magic happens, okay, and it happens unexpectedly. When we expect something, we know that it's going to happen, then it's not that surprising to us, right? But when something unexpected happens, so the value of that particular thing happening increases automatically, right? So miracles happen, changes happen, and when they are unexpected, they have a different impact on us. Okay, so this was the summary of the poem, everyone. Let's look at a few word meanings from the poem. Rime means frost, because it was there was this heavy snowfall, and the spray here are the leaves and the branches of the trees, or maybe foliage. Bechance means chance to happen, and sojourn means to stay somewhere, and dust means dead. It's used in poems, and surmise means guess, and fathomless means something so deep that the depth of that particular thing cannot be measured. Now, let's look at a few question answers. What changes occur in poet after he returned from Lyonnesse? जब वो Lyonnesse से वापस आता है तो उसमें क्या क्या changes आते हैं? When the poet returned from Lyonnesse, he had a strange glow in his eyes. First of all, he had this this glow in his eyes, this strange glow in his eyes, and it seemed as if he had magical eyes that glowed from inner radiance. On his return from the parish, what two things did people notice about him? There were two things that people noticed. What were those two things? On his return from the parish, people noticed two things about him: a new glow in his eyes and a crumpled piece of paper sticking out of his coat pocket. I already told you that. The first thing was that glow on his face, and the second thing was there was this crumpled paper which was sticking out of his pocket. And what was written on that what was written on that piece of paper? It was this particular poem. He wrote this poem when he was in the parish, and it was all about his experience there. In the first stanza, find words that show that it was very cold. Now, the word rhyme shows us that it was very cold, because rhyme means frost. Abhi padha tha humne. That it was late evening, starlight. There were stars in the sky, and the stars were guiding him. So it was late evening. That the traveler was alone. Lonesomeness. That he was alone. He was alone on that road. So lonesomeness is the word that shows us that he was alone. Okay. So this was our poem, everyone. I gave you the summary, and it's going to make the understanding of the poem easier for you. So read the poem carefully once using all the word meanings, so you'll understand it. It's a very easy poem, Thomas Hardy, and I hope it will be helpful, the question answers and the summary and the word meanings, and I'll meet you in our next lecture. Thank you.